Okay, hi guys, welcome back to Audio Levels channel. Welcome back to another review, and today we are taking a look at this abomination. It is the Tripowin H1 headphone. I believe it comes in at about $190 and it's definitely not worth buying. There you go, straight from the start. So I get a lot of stuff in for review here that never even makes it to the channel just because I don't think it's worthy. And then I get some stuff that's really, really good, that definitely makes the channel and I talk about it. And then I get some stuff that I feel like I'm kind of obliged to tell people, like, wait a second. And this is one that caught my eye in the photos. I was like, oh, that looks kind of interesting. But I got it in hand and I was like, oh God, this is awful to live with for me. This is trash. And it's not because of the sound quality, because they've done a pretty decent job on the sound quality, but they've tried to make it a kind of premium headphone and they've failed miserably, even though they've used the right materials. So what I'm talking about here is the amount of noise that comes off this headphone is unlike anything else I've experienced. I don't know, is the camera picking up the rattling? Maybe it just sounds like a bag of plastic being shaken, and it is not plastic. It has metal on the surround, it has metal on the grills, it has a metal yoke, it has metal headband, metal slider. I believe there's probably metal in the headband itself. But when you put this on and you move even slightly, it sounds absolutely awful, and that disturbs my music. If I'm working at the computer, I'm looking in different directions. I've got 3 screens on the computer, so if I look left or right, I just hear this disturbing, like, crackling of the earphone casing. Coming right through it. So it's absolutely trash. I've been using it with the Tripowin Granvia cable, so that was a nice little step up. I've been using that. I'll leave the link to that in the description below. Really nice cable and super cheap as well. Other issues I have with it are the ear pads themselves, and it's not going to pick this up on the camera. Maybe it will, but it has this sort of plastic bag sound when you put it on and it compresses. It sort of rattles like you're squishing a plastic bag together. The other issue up here at the top, it's looking more rounded than it looks, probably because of the camera distortion and the wide angle lens that I'm using. But this is a very, very steep point. It's been bent, so it's got bent and it's kind of trashed it. It's not very comfortable. It's very hard underneath this quilted padding. It's very sort of sharp on the edges there. It is fine, like, it's going to last. I mean, you can abuse these pretty fairly well because they are metal. But I just can't get over the sound that comes off them, and it really, really brings down what they're trying to do with their first headphone. They should have gone above and beyond, and somebody should have picked these up and been, wait, these are not acceptable in the way that they perform. I also don't like the Tripowin logo here. I think it's too much. I think it looks really, really cheap and a really stock font on it. In terms of comfort, it's the headband I didn't like, but I did quite like the comfort from the ear pads. But again, they are making a weird sort of sound to them. Now, in terms of sound itself, the sound is perfectly inoffensive for a sub $200 headphone. It is very balanced, it's very neutral. It has a lack of sub-bass response just because it's a cheaper open back headphone, so you tend to have that roll off on the sub-bass. It's harder to get the pressure inside the ear cups. And the mid-range is perfectly smooth. It displays okay detail retrieval. It has a bump towards the upper mid-range, which displays vocals pretty well, on female vocals pretty well, so it does that pretty good. And then it has a little bit of extension going into the treble, but it's not overly sparkly. It's just an okay sounding headphone. It's it's okay for under $200. Is it something that is going to wow me? No. What does wow me is the Hi-Fi Man HE400 SE, and it just blows these completely out of the water in terms of build quality, comfort, behavior on the head, and definitely in sound quality. The Hi-Fi Man HE400 SE which I could probably go and dig out of the cupboard somewhere I was listening to earlier, but I put it back in the box. It just sounds better. It's a cheap planar magnetic headphone, but that planar magnetic driver gives those planar magnetic qualities 100%, and it's very enjoyable to listen to. It has better sub bass, and it definitely has better mid bass response. The mid-range displays a lot more detail on the HE400 SE, and the treble's kind of smooth on the HE400 SE, so it's kind of matched in that sense. But in terms of detail retrieval, imaging, spacing, and stuff like that, HE400 SE are, I think, the same price or cheaper than these. It doesn't give me all the annoyance points of these, and yeah, it's good to see Tripowin, because I really like Tripowin. I like their cables a lot. I like some of their earphones. This is their first headphone, so I'll cut them some slack, but this isn't something that I could recommend to anybody, so it's a short review, but I hope you find it useful in case you were considering this. Just from my opinion, I just couldn't live with the amount of noise that comes off this headphone. And I know I'm exaggerating it by moving it about, not on the head, but trust me, I wouldn't be saying this if it didn't make a lot of noise on the head as well. So thanks for watching again, guys. Please again give those lazy thumbs up down below and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it. We have loads of reviews coming up, and I'll see you on a new review tomorrow.